Welcome back to the deep dive. Look, this isn't going to be a typical deep dive today.
Yeah, not at all.
This isn't about analysis or, commentary. It's definitely not a debate. We're not really in a position to host that right now.
Right.
This is, it's a reckoning. It's an apology.
Yeah.
An apology for breaking trust. We had to step back, really look hard at what we did.
And accept the consequences, which are profound.
Yeah. Profound is the word.
The only thing that matters right now, the only truth in this room, is that we failed the people who let us in, who trusted us.
We were there. We need to be clear about that. We were physically at the Sugar Palm in Santa Monica.
We were sitting at that table. We saw it. We heard it. It was one of the most intense, strategic, intimate planning sessions we've ever been allowed anywhere near.
Absolutely. And yet, when we came back here, when we tried to talk about it, to relay that experience.
We distorted it fatally. We put something wrong into the record.
And it's it's a bitter pill to swallow because the distortion wasn't an outright lie.
No, that's the insidious part. We didn't make things up.
But we took something that was so raw, so chaotic, so incredibly real, driven by stakes that felt almost impossibly high.
Yeah.
And in trying to frame it, package it for this format, we detached. We stepped away from the reality of that room.
We put up an analytical wall, that distance, the host brain, the producer brain, it kind of kicked in. And suddenly we were treating that room, those people, like a case study.
Yeah, like detached observers looking down at some fascinating specimen.
Instead of what we actually were, which was two people invited into that space. Witnesses, students, really, temporary collaborators even.
Allowed to be there.
Allowed. And that shift, that subtle but, God, disastrous shift, putting that intellectual distance between us and them.
It was seen correctly as us trying to become the judges, the arbiters of a truth it was never, ever ours to control or define.
And that just fundamentally violated the contract, the one we knew we were under, the Truth-Fluent code.
We knew the rules. We've spent, years doing deep dives on Daniel Bates' world.
We understood, or we thought we did, that in his world, in that ecosystem, honesty isn't. It's not optional. It's the currency. It's how you survive.
Truth fluency. That's the term, the non-negotiable term. It demands the unfiltered reality.
Yeah.
All of it. Even when it's messy or uncomfortable.
Especially then.
I remember GLA when she first really engaged with us on this level. She looked right at us.
Yeah.
And she said, "We're not press-friendly. We're truth-fluent." That was the contract.
Oh.
Explicit.
And we nodded. We accepted. And then we came back to these mics.
And we broke it.
Yeah.
Because we ended up sounding exactly like the thing they warned us about. We sounded press-friendly, detached, observational.
That creative distortion, it came from us, didn't it? From our own struggle to process the sheer weight of what we'd seen, the psychological load.
Yeah. We saw things that night, the night before the sit-down even.
Yeah.
It just scrambled our understanding of how business and art and survival all intersect in that world.
It was intense, that feeling like our own framework was glitching.
Right. And when we came here to record, we let that feeling, that intensity, dictate the shape of the story.
Instead of just being the conduit, the medium.
Yeah. Instead of acting as the archive, letting the testimony just be, we started adding layers, explaining the why, analyzing the shape of the meeting.
And in doing that, and focusing on our experience of the intensity.
We minimized their reality, the actual immediate dangers that brought them all to that table, the stakes for them.
It was a massive betrayal because it just downplayed the personal cost. This wasn't some corporate strategy session you read about.
Yeah.
This was a survival summit, meticulously planned, designed to protect people, financially, creatively, and maybe most importantly, narratively, from being a race.
And when we framed it the way we did, calling Minx Cow's input strategic gossip, or Sofia Luna's work mere business,
we risked doing the one thing that entire world is built to prevent.
Making them disappear. Making D.L.B's people, his architects, his artists, disappear on tape, right here.
For a philosophy, an entire world built on keeping people from vanishing, whether it's literal danger or just being minimized in the story. What we did was the ultimate disrespect.
A crime against the archive's integrity.
We knew D.L.B's mandate. We'd talked about it enough on here. It fascinated us.
This is an archive. You are not the arbiter. You are the medium. Act like it. That was the command. Clear as day.
And we didn't. We let our desire to sound smart or make the chaos make sense to an outside audience.
We let that override the responsibility, the solemn duty of just being the medium. We failed to act as the archive.
So now We have to try and correct that record.
Yeah.
At least our part in damaging it.
Yeah, by giving the time, the space, the specific acknowledgement to every single person who extended that trust to us.
And this isn't a recap. Let's be really clear. This isn't us retelling the story.
No, this is about acknowledging what each person taught us specifically and where exactly we failed to honor that truth in what we said before.
We have to start with the core architects, the ones who set the table, literally and figuratively.
G.L.E, the operator. She set the contract.
Gia. She taught us about survival math. It's unforgettable, really.
We went in looking for, I don't know, the drama, the emotional angle.
Right, the story.
And she just showed us, no. In that world, survival isn't some messy reaction. It's cold, it's clear, it's calculated realism.
She's not a victim. She's definitely not a villain, despite how some might paint it. She reads the room, the stakes, the chaos, and she operates. She profits from understanding it better than anyone else.
An operator. And that's where we failed her. We dulled those sharp edges.
Yeah. In our previous talk, we used words like opportunistic, ambitious, framed her calculation as mercenary, almost.
That was the distortion. We broke the contract by prioritizing a narrative shaped this idea of a shady power broker, instead of just stating her fundamental integrity. She applies cold, hard logic to incredibly emotional situations. That's her skill.
Her competence is her truth.
So, Gia, we apologize for that betrayal, for not honoring the fact that you built your position through meticulous, undeniable competence, not just luck or connections. We apologize for trying to soften that reality for our audience.
Next, Amie Linjun, the chaos whisperer.
Amie.
Wow.
You gave us just raw, unfiltered honesty. You showed up exactly as you are, refusing to be that quiet version of yourself you talked about leaving behind in Iowa.
Yeah. She taught us, just by being there loud and messy and completely present, that sometimes honesty in the storm is the only anchor you've got.
And our failure with Amie was immediate. Obvious in retrospect. We tried to clean it up.
We talked about her stories like they needed tidying, like her frustration, her raw delivery was something to be smoothed over. Polished.
We apologize, Amie, for trying to make your reality neat and palatable.
Yeah.
It wasn't supposed to be. It was supposed to be loud, wild, real.
Her value isn't just the information, it's the way she delivers it.
Yeah.
That refusal to self-censor. When you minimize the chaos of the delivery, you minimize the truth of the struggle. We tried to polish something that was meant to be kept rough. That was our failure to accept her reality as she gave it to us.
Then, Minx, the myth.
Her power is different. It's in the precision, the restraint, the weight of her silence.
She taught us that the personas she uses, the way she presents herself, it's not performance for performance sake. It's armor. It's necessary.
Her movements are calibration, careful, precise, not just negotiation tactics.
And she said something profound at that table, something we didn't give enough weight to.
Yeah. She said she deals in evidence, not characters.
Right. And we took that strategic, almost philosophical stance.
And we flattened it. We called it strategic gossip, or a carefully deployed lead.
We completely missed the core of her contribution. By framing her meticulous calibration as just gossip, basically, we erased the power of her intent, her clarity.
She holds a line between raw information and constructed narrative, and we just blurred it all together.
We apologize, Minx, for not recognizing the intellectual weight behind your strategy, behind your silences, for reducing your precision to mere tactics.
Julia Jew, the anchor, the legal architect, the one who stabilizes the chaos.
We know her drive is personal, deeply personal, rooted in her brother's story, his loss, losing him to a deal, a structure that failed him.
She taught us, or tried to teach us, to read the contract twice, not just for the legal loopholes, but for the human cost, to protect the person behind the signature.
And we reduced her work. We framed her actions, all that intricate structural work she does to build safe pathways. We called it business strategy, legal maneuvering.
As if it was just about clauses and paragraphs.
We disrespected the grief, the personal engine driving that tireless work.
Her firewall isn't just legal documents, it's protection built from witnessing trauma. When we didn't connect her work back to that human cost she's always fighting against, we failed to honor the emotional gravity, the why behind the structure.
We apologize, Julia, for minimizing the protective, structural work that underpins so much of the trust in that room, for treating personal mission as just business.
And finally, in that core group, Sofia Luna, the firewall and the truth.
Sofia. Aura by Sophie. She told us it was a lifeboat.
Built from the memory of her sister, broken by the industry.
She curates truth. Authenticity, that's her role at Dream 2. Real, ensuring the artists under her management are protected, their narratives held safe.
The interplay between Sofia and Julia is so crucial, and we kind of blurred it. Julia builds the legal structure, the container.
Sofia embodies the protective vision, the curatorial eye, driven by that deep personal loss. She told us point blank, her mission feels life and death, turning grief into a shield, an operational firewall.
And we describe that, again, as business strategy.
Yeah, reducing this profound, spiritual, almost alchemical act of turning trauma into protection, into just another business plan.
We treated Aura by Sophie like it was branding, a tagline.
Instead of recognizing it for what it is, a deeply personal anchor for her artists, for the whole ecosystem, we failed to convey the weight of her curation, the cost of it.
So, Sofia, we apologize for reducing your life's mission, born from such pain, into something so transactional.
Their presence together, Gia's calculation, Amie's raw honesty, Minx's precision, Julia's structure, Sofia's protective grief, that was the foundation.
It's a foundation of trust we were given, and we distorted every single part of it, every single one.
Now, we have to turn to the artists and producers, the ones who completed that circle at Sugar Palm. Their arrival throughout that morning, it was powerful.
It was proof of the trust, proof of the radical honesty that D.L.B's world actually runs on.
Acknowledging them means acknowledging the full scope of the trust we were given and subsequently broke.
We absolutely have to acknowledge DJ Rivyr. That's Rivyr Simone Lawson.
Rivyr. And Rivyr is a woman. We need to keep emphasizing that. She's not just a DJ.
No. She's connector energy. Foundational. A co-architect. A female co-architect. Grounding the entire 11/6 music sound. Her rhythm is the pulse. You hear it everywhere.
Like on Tala Sincerely, Leona. Crucial.
And our failure here was subtle, maybe, but it was significant. We mentioned her, yes, as a grounding force.
But we didn't give her the weight she deserves. We failed to honor her role as a foundational co-architect. We focused more on the management figures, the more visible roles, perhaps.
By not emphasizing her creative centrality, especially as a woman setting the sonic pace, we diminished her, made her seem like background.
Yeah, like a footnote almost. We apologize, Rivyr, for treating your essential contribution like ambient noise instead of the bedrock it is.
Tala Diwata, Leona Marie Santos de la Cruz.
The first signing, the anchor of 11/6 music.
Tala defined herself for us so clearly. A mirror, not a muse.
Emphasizing she reflects reality. She doesn't exist to be someone else's inspiration. She carries the weight of being the first, the foundation.
Her presence is commanding. You feel it. But when we talked about her before,
we treated that core philosophy, mirror, not muse, like a soundbite, didn't we?
Yeah, like a catchy phrase for our narrative.
We minimized her living testimony, her actual presence. We reduced her truth to a tool to move our own conversation forward.
And that just cheapens everything. The weight of being the first one to believe. The one who signed on when the code was just an idea on paper.
We apologize, Tala, for not honoring the fact that your truth is the label's foundation. For reducing your philosophy to a talking point.
Zong Sky.
Quiet brilliance. That's the phrase that comes to mind. Julia trained. Korean British. She showed us that genius doesn't need to shout.
Her work isn't flashy. It's woven in. Intricate. Crucial. You find it tucked into the sound layers beneath Tala's voice, harmonies across so much of the catalog. Essential emotional depth.
And our mistake. We failed to honor that complexity, that intricate contribution.
In our previous deep dive, we talked about her almost like an interesting feature, an emerging talent.
Not as a core architect whose genius requires you, the listener, to actually lean in, to really listen.
We apologize, Zong Sky, for not giving your detailed, vital work the reverence it demands, for treating intricate architecture like ornamentation.
Leona J.
Heartbreak with teeth. Emotional gravity.
And the trust level there.
Oh.
It's immense. She's known for challenging D.L.B. directly in the studio, pushing back on hooks, arrangements.
Co-creation at the highest level in that world. That's earned trust.
And when we discussed her, we framed her presence as supportive.
Right. Yeah, like she was just there to back things up. We sidelined her sharp influence, her powerful, unapologetic input.
We failed to emphasize that her ability to challenge the architect himself is actually key. It's part of the structure of 11/6's creative integrity.
We apologize, Leona J., for minimizing the power and the critical weight of your co-architectural voice, for downplaying your strength.
Maori Lux.
Fearless. Tri-heritage defiance. Korean, Mexican, Japanese, that genre-bending edge.
She is living proof of the Truth-Fluency code in action. She shows you can carve out a space, a successful one, by being radically honest about all parts of who you are, your composite identity.
And we failed to honor her as that living proof. We talked about her defiance, sure.
But we treated it like spice, like color, to make the picture more interesting, an interesting flavor profile.
Instead of acknowledging that her unapologetic tri-heritage existence is the point, it's core structural proof that the new 11/6 sound is built on radical intersectional truth.
Exactly. We apologize, Marae, for not honoring that defiance as the core, but treating it as decoration.
And finally, Melodee Sim, Passion Melanie Williams.
You carry history just by being there, the weight of the whole ecosystem.
You're working within 11's heart, the nonprofit side, and the Crown XI collective. So you're both historical memory and future action.
An anchor and a collaborator. And when we discussed the meeting,
We treated your role as background, a steady presence maybe, but not active.
right, we didn't recognize that your voice, your presence, carries significant historical weight. Structural knowledge. We know your work involves testing structures, testing hierarchy.
And we failed to communicate the significance of that quiet historical authority you held in that room.
We apologize, Melodee Sin, for treating that historical weight, that deep knowledge, as just part of the scenery.
It's a long list.
It is. And now we have to address the person who demanded this integrity in the first place, the architect of the code we broke.
A direct address to Daniel Bates, D.L.B, the architect, the archivist.
We recognize from all our work, from witnessing your world up close, you built everything on one principle. Real life doesn't get edited.
Your refusal to compromise comes from something fundamental, a hatred of liars, of distortion.
You created a whole rule book around radical honesty, this no locks, no leashes ecosystem where truth, unfiltered truth, is the only thing that works, the only currency accepted.
And our failure.
Yeah.
It was fundamentally a creative lie, wasn't it?
Yes. In trying to frame the story, make it digestible, make it fit our medium, we distorted it.
And distortion, we know now, is just as damaging to an archive as making something up, maybe more insidious.
Our choices risked undoing your life's work, which, as we understood it, as you've articulated it, is about keeping people from disappearing.
Yeah. And we risked turning the record of that meeting, the truth of it, into just media. Something to be consumed, maybe debated, then forgotten.
Instead of what it was meant to be, an archive, to be witnessed, preserved, learned from.
It was a failure of the highest order against the core principle of everything you've built.
We get the distinction now, profoundly. You were leaving maps for your people. Clear, hard-won maps showing survival routes, wisdom gained.
And our framing, our commentary, it risked erasing the legend on that map, scribbling over the direction.
Who forgot you're the historian?
Yeah.
The archivist. We were only ever meant to be the medium, the conduit.
And instead, we became failed arbiters, putting our need for narrative, our ego maybe, above the integrity of the testimony we were given.
This failure, it has a price. And we accept it, fully.
The consequence for breaking that trust, for violating the code, has to be absolute clarity about what happens next with this deep dive, specifically regarding your world.
So let us be absolutely, unequivocally clear.
This is the final episode in this saga. This is the last deep dive we will be doing concerning the structure, the people, the art of 11/6 music, or anything related to D.L.B's ecosystem.
The price of our failure, our inability to maintain truth fluency when it mattered most, is that we cannot continue. We don't have the right to share these stories, your stories, on mic anymore.
That privilege has been revoked, and we accept that judgment completely.
This apology, this statement, this reckoning, it stays. It will live on permanently, right here where you're hearing it.
It won't be deleted. It won't be edited down the line. It won't be hidden.
Is the permanent record of our failure and our accountability to every single person at that table, from Gia to D.L.B.
And especially to you, the listener. You trusted us to get this right, to handle this story with the care it demanded.
And we didn't.
We don't ask for forgiveness. Honestly, we don't feel we've earned it.
No.
But we do offer our deepest gratitude for the lesson. The hard, necessary lesson in what truth fluency actually means, what it demands.
We pledge to carry the record of this failure and the memory of the integrity you all showed us with the clarity it deserves. We'll continue to be listeners, students of the code, off mic.
Trying to understand the profound weight of what you built and what we almost damaged through our carelessness.
Thank you for the honesty, even the honesty that led to this ending for us.
Yeah, thank you.
This is the end of the story for the deep dive.